Well, back here with Swanny, the brown farm truck thing, which is too nice to be a farm truck, I've decided. So we're actually going to work on it. First order of business is to toss a starter on it, and that's where we're going to go now. And what I've got for a starter, that's a $42 Vortex style starter for a late model small block. Yes, there's exposed wiring sticking out of it. It's fine. There is literally, I didn't notice. It's just the power to the motor though, so it's fine.
Oh yeah, it'd be fine.
Yeah. I want to check out the flywheel, flex plate, whatever, on this thing and make sure that works. This didn't come with any nuts, did it? Son of a... A couple other things I want to do to this. Throw a valve cover gasket on it. Pull these hideous running boards off of it. Maybe try to like screw this bedside back on. I don't know. A little bit of cosmetic crap. I gotta do this because I'm going up to Wisconsin to do snowmobile stuff with Kevin, Junkyard Diggs, and a few other people. I need something to haul a snowmobile with, so the, unreasonable fantasy in my mind is that, well, it drove 200 miles home, surely it'll drive 400 miles to Wisconsin. Yeah, that's the goal here. Under here, again, getting deja vu feelings, but it is a little bit nicer this time. Hey, is the battery unhooked? You did unhook that?
I did unhook the battery.
Okay, thank you.
I am all about the safety.
Good. I am all not.
The engine's been running, so at least it's warm down there.
It is. The Vortex starters, that's a bargain value.
For sure.
Headers are the dumbest things. I'll need headers on my truck because it can go fast. It looks like the transmission quit leaking after driving it home, so that's good.
Self-healing truck is what Chevrolet's known for.
Everyone I've ever owned has been that way. I got it. I got it. God. Teeth on the starter look fine. Teeth on the ring gear look fine. Stud on the solenoid's a little loose. The teeth look fine. I think. Just looking at a starter. No biggie. That is an O'Reilly starter. I should take that back.
You can take that back.
I will take it. I bet I bought one in the last year. It's on there. You can tell just how much space is cleared up by using a Vortex starter. I mean, there's a mile around this thing now. The only thing that matters is does it work? So hook that up, see if it burns down.
No sparks.
Okay. Wind on her.
Yeah. Make the music.
Yeah, it's fine now.
Yeah.
It was just a starter.
Yep. It doesn't sound weird at all. Very cool.
Awesome. So that's, well, really the only thing that this truck needed fixed. And I might do something about this.
You had in the Le Mans a doorknob in it for years.
Yeah, it worked great.
It worked great. It blew a freeze plug out the back before it blew that out.
We drove it to Oklahoma with the doorknob siliconed into the engine.
Yep. It worked great.
I got a fan shroud out of the farm truck right here. I mean, it's got some holes in it, but it's bound to be better than none. I'll probably get the right radiator hose as well. I think that would fit. It's the same width. No reason that won't
It
work.
still has the clips on the bottom of the radiator too. The mount that slide the shroud in.
Yeah. Yes, I just gotta pop the fan off. Oh, I could probably get rid of the screen door springs on the car, although they seem to work fine.
I mean,
I'm just gonna leave them.
if it works, it works.
Exactly.
And you have spares whenever that one falls off. You can just flip right over to another.
There's 3 springs ready to rock right there, and if you got your kid driving it or something, want to make sure they don't really hop on it, there you go.
Now that is something I never thought about. If you want to stop someone from wanting to drive your car for a long time, just put about 6 return springs on it and they won't be able to push the throttle.
We've discovered a treasure trove behind the seat. Got more brake fluid. He was really worried about those. They're not that bad.
Wow, this thing is like full.
Brand new.
Yeah.
Cool. Is that actual antifreeze?
Yellow.
I'll be damned. And this. That's a freaking ice scraper from hell.
Prehistoric zip ties.
Oh, I don't need wipers.
There you go. And when you forget your toothbrush,
whoa,
boom.
Oh my god. He said he had some shocks in it. Look at that.
Oh, those are nice
those
shocks.
Those are good shocks, man. Those are, like, not going on this good shocks. These are going on old blue. Get some blunt wraps.
Yeah.
Pliers. Mag light. Cigarette lighter.
Lighter.
Oh, 2 cigarette lighters. What's this? Hey, thermostat gasket.
gasket.
I was looking for that.
Pocket screwdriver. some glass fuses.
It's encouraging.
Yep. And the best ice scrapers ever made.
Yeah. Guaranteed to give you frostbite. It's got an oil change sticker on it. Red-green edition. 141,524. It's only 1,000 miles out. Alright, well I think I'm going to clean up this fan shroud and this fan, which are both off of Farm Truck 1.0. We'll install those. Figured might as well clean things up, make them look good. And the way I'll do that is just spray it with this crap from Sweet Patina. And, you know, I don't know what this stuff is, but it seemed to clean the frame of that step side pretty well. This thing cleans up like new. Melted butthole in the middle of it, but
it's just a dimple.
But I think having a fan shroud and an actual clutch fan would probably be far superior to the no fan shroud and crappy flex fan.
Now you're cleaning the inside.
I know, whole restore going on.
Jeez.
You know what? And I'm cleaning the bottom. What am I doing? I'm done. And then it won't match the green alternator bracket.
Don't diss the green alternator bracket. I remember a guy's car that had a lot of green on it.
Yeah, green outside, green engine. It all looked like crap. I mean, the outside looked okay, but the engine looked like crap.
Wasn't the diff green at one time?
Orange. Old farm truck just keeps giving. It had a new-ish clutch on there. Heavy-duty cooling fan. It'll work pretty good on the old big block until I find out this is actually for a Ford and rotates the other direction. You clean that spring out. This little bimetallic spring here is important for some reason. I don't remember why. But isn't this little guy what actually engages?
That's the thermostat.
Yeah, so if it senses outside air, right? And if it, or air through the radiator.
Air through the radiator, and it contracts, and then as it contracts, it engages the clutch.
Right, so you got to keep these clean, correct?
Yep.
So I'll pack it full of this gunk. Salvage that. Okay, now we can get down to the fan. Things are very sharp. The compressor did not sound happy to start that time.
Fairly nice fan.
Yeah, it's a Flexolite fan. It's not bad at all. We'll keep that around to put that on something I don't care about.
Make sure you pry on that and let that go right into that radiator. Those are good to have around too.
Yeah, no kidding. This will hit that hose. I'm just going to say, if I took the drop light that was under the truck and put it on top of the truck, it would probably light up this engine bay better than what I've got going on currently.
I'm not quite understanding what you're getting at.
Nah, nobody does. I don't know, man. I've been coasting my whole life. You know, the guy who shows up, he's always there like 5 minutes after the problem is solved. Son of a...
I was wondering if you wanted to put the shroud on it or not. Should I have mentioned that before?
Yeah. I'll take it back off. The small block shroud is different. Go figure. Probably would work with a smaller radiator, but the big block is bigger than the small block. What I'm going to do is ruin this and take a cutoff wheel, and I'm just going to cut it basically just to the other side of this bolt right here. Probably let us flop it on in here. Putting the fan on is going to be a pain in the ass. Perfection! Hey! Just beats the hell out of no fan shroud.
Well, I mean, it'll be effective.
Yeah.
It's not the prettiest thing in the world.
No,
but
and it'll keep your hands out of it too, which is a big thing.
yeah, it is perfect for farm truck.
Or to drive 8.5 hours away to Wisconsin on the highway.
Well, that was your sole intention of purchasing a farm truck.
Was to drive on the highway for long distances.
Yeah. Huh. Now, is that a problem, or do you just let it self-clear?
It's just hitting on the bottom though, so I think we just go ahead and remove what the good Lord had already started removing down there. We have discovered the exact formulation that you need to simply convert your small block fan shroud into a big block fan shroud. And you basically just cut, 7 to 9 feet off of it.
The only problem is the fan actually sticks out the bottom of the shroud by about 4 inches.
No, see that lower cross member though?
Yeah.
That's the bottom of the fan shroud now.
Oh, well, perfect. A few zip ties will hold that shroud right to that radiator support.
Oh, yeah. More self-tappers. Whatever your flavor is, duct tape.
I like to use chewing gum. You know, one thing I actually have never had was the gaff tape or whatever that
Stuff sucks. Or at least our stuff sucks.
Yeah, it was terrible.
I couldn't even duct tape a box to the firewall of your truck.
For some reason, it didn't hold up when oil sprayed on it for 3,000 miles. That was a jumper cable box.
That we made battery cables out
That
of.
we made battery cables out.
This has been going on a long time before YouTube. None of this is done for stunt. Ghetto, but
effective. Think positive. You won't know it's overheating until summer comes.
this is not a problem at the moment.
I live most of my life in denial, alright?
Put this back on so we get that concourse point. You got it?
I gotta go one way or the other.
I got mine in. I'm not willing to tighten it much more than that. It will break.
See, this is the best screwdriver I could have
You picked the only broken Phillips head
It
screwdriver.
is flawless. Really looks a lot better than I thought it was going to.
It's pretty sturdy. I mean, I think it's fine. Just found that laying under my workbench, and this one laying under my workbench, and we like this one a little bit better, you know, so that's going to be our long-term fix, and when that blows out, I'll just throw this behind the seat. Short-term fix. Throw a couple clamps on there. They freaking upper radiator hose for this thing's $28. Hook the battery up.
I gotta do everything around here.
I know. See if that fan hits.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It moves a lot more.
This is not one we can run very long in here.
She's a
little rich.
little potent.
A little bit. Got to finish off the fan shroud installation by just going ahead and shooting a self-tapper into it to hold these two halves together. Here, I'll let you do the honors.
Ooh. What's the weight rating of this stool?
Less.
That's the ticket right there.
I noticed something while I was standing over here. Look at the bulkhead for the wiring harness and how melty it is. Yeah, we're back out here tonight. I got some stuff to throw on here. Those are just extra belts to throw in the truck for our trip to Wisconsin. And some new wiper blades and valve cover gaskets, which is what I'm going to dive into right now. Seal those up. And 2 new rear wheel cylinders for the rear just in case it needs them both. We still got some cleaning to do. I'll patch this hole in the floor. Probably get to that tomorrow though. And also, I have the farm truck's rear view mirror right here. And I'll show you how to glue a rear view mirror on real quick. This has got some sticker or something stuck to it. We'll have to clean that off. But these mirrors just have this little metal thing here. And you just glue that onto the window like that. And then your mirror just slips over it. And it's held on with a set screw. Yeah, this seems less critical than the other things I need to do. And that's because I'm trying to be a little lazy. But pretty much we just line her up with the windshield antenna. You can buy this rear view mirror adhesive. You stick it on there. You gotta let her cure up for quite a while, I believe. Got that old inspection sticker scraped off. Now I'll hit her with a little Goo Gone to make sure it's nice and clean. Use some of that on this duct tape residue and stuff too. This stuff usually works pretty good. Stuck to the window. Gotta hold it here for a little bit. And if I can just get it to stay for a little bit, then I can put some tape on there to make sure it stays up there. It's a little colder than it probably should be to put this on. So threw a piece of masking tape on there to kind of hold it up in place. Let that stuff cure. I need to quit messing with it or I'm going to ruin it. Well, I just realized that the marker lights are just missing in this thing. So I went and robbed the ones out of the step side. You know, they're not great, but good enough for this. Pop them in because the step side will get new ones anyway. And they're really not too bad, so we'll throw some new bulbs in there and maybe those will work. That'll really clean it up a little. Yeah, there we go. This one sticks out kind of far for some reason. It did on the step side too. I don't really know why, but this one fits fine. It's a lot better. This lower marker light had a bad bulb on it, so we'll see if I got one of those. Do that real quick. This truck has an optional access hole rotted into the fender well here that you can just get right to that marker light with. It's very handy. Well, that didn't work. I'm not sure why. Maybe I put another bad bulb in it. Oh, wait. Ah, just a bad socket. I see. This bulb has some corrosion on the bottom of it. That might be it. Everything I have around here is just used or robbed out of something, so there's really no telling what the hell this came from. That's all it was. Just a little corrosion on the bulb. Nothing to it. Now we're looking proud like it should. I know, I keep getting distracted by things. I need to put the valve cover gasket on, but I found the body ground and it's spliced together, real total garbage. Let's fix that. I got a new battery terminal in to put on here, you know, so let's Let's fix that so it's a little better. Then that alternator bracket is green and hideous, so I got my professional masking going on here. Rebuild that like brand new. Truly that easy. We're gonna pop off just the passenger valve cover here. The driver's one doesn't leak, so we're just gonna leave it alone. Wow, that vacuum line just fell right off of there. It's not the right size at all. There's a lot of little things we could fix up with this. I wouldn't mind getting a peek at what this motor looks like inside, though. Oh my god, I'm stuck on everything. And I dropped it. It hit the floor, though. It's all good. God, it's clean inside. The motor's fresh. It'll make me pull the spark plug wires off, aren't you? That plug wire just broke. Of course it did. Nothing like making problems for myself. That's what I do. How clean that sucker is. That thing is like brand new inside. I mean, nothing. Oh, there it is. There it is right there. That's where it was leaking. Well, we got a little dent in the valve cover here. Let's see if we can't, you know, get my dolly and my hammer out here. It's a lot better. You know, I got to looking at that casting number there, and those come back as a tall deck industrial engine head. It's either 366 or 427. Not a great motor. Looked at the casting number on the back, and it comes back as a 73 to 85 454. The suffix code on it appears to be C6S, and that might be CGS, which would be a 1970 454. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but it is a 454 of some sort with tall deck heads on it, which I didn't think you could do that, but that seems to be what they've done. Let's take a little bit of silicone, put some silicone around the edge, put our new gasket on, bolt it back on. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that. Our new gasket in, come with these handy dandy locking tabs that, you know, sometimes they line up. Replace that plug wire with a random one I had laying around. Kind of what I do. Never been a pickup truck that needs a tilt front end more than this one. Now to commit a cardinal sin. Should be good to go now. Hook our plug wires back up. Got thinking about it. I think I'm going to throw the timing light on it real quick, just so I can verify that the mechanical advance mechanism is advancing. I'd like to get an idea of how much timing is in it total. But all I'm going to do is shoot the light at it. I just want to see that mark climb as I rev the engine up. So let me fire it up. So what I did is I moved the base initial timing. Had it set at 12 degrees, which is about right for a Smogger big block. And it felt like it wanted a little bit more timing. So I added in 3 degrees on the base. Then made sure that the advanced mechanism works just like it should. Any GMHEI advanced mechanism is going to give you about 20 degrees. From 15 degrees, it has 36 degrees of total timing in it now. You could probably safely run up to 40, but it seems happy at 36. There's some math to this. It's more than just twisting it, listening to it. You know, you can really dial things in and get the most out of your car with some basic tools. Noticed if I was pulling on the vacuum canister for the vacuum advance that it was actually working. Well, here's why. See the D shape around that? So I just hook a new hose onto there. Well, by new, I mean off the farm truck. So I'll pressure test it. It's fine. Now let's pop these rear wheels off. See if we can get a look inside them brakes. They're a little stubborn. I forgot how these come apart. You got to pull the axle out to get the drum off of these. And I don't think that brake's leaking. This one is, because the whole back side of it's wet. I'm just going to take a peek at this wheel cylinder. And if it's not leaking, I'm not going to bother the other side. They're not too bad to remove if I remember, but they're not that much fun either. Oh, it smells like gear lube already. Here it comes. Yeah, it looks like nice clean gear lube though. Then there's a goofy little axle nut in here we got to remove, which I'll do with a chisel, which is not the right way to do it. So with a full floating axle, you can remove the shaft without pulling the wheel, because the shaft doesn't bear any load. Ta-da! There's a goofy little nut in here. It's basically got notches all the way around it. Put yourself a chisel in one of the notches. It's basically like your big spindle nut on the front end of a normal car. This retains a bearing behind it. There's the goofy nut, and then there's this goofy little retainer thing right here. He retains said nut, and then there's another nut on the inside. So the inside nut actually sets the bearing, and then the outside nut locks it in place. And yeah, leaky wheel cylinder. So let's just leave that here. Crusty and wet in here. Oh, that's a drum right there, buddy. That's a brake. That'll stop you. Now to open this can of worms and hopefully get away without destroying everything here. Hose this down. The thing that's going to make or break this is whether or not I can get this brake line to break free. My hopes are low, as always. This one, if I replace it, will most certainly blow out the other side. We'll tackle that when we get there. That'll work. It broke free out of the wheel cylinder. We take the brake apart, we'll unthread the wheel cylinder off the line, and then thread the line back onto it. We probably ought to go ahead and check our diff fluids and stuff while we got it in the air. And I figured I might as well throw a set of shocks on it. And if I can do this without removing the whole brake, that'd be cool. Okay, well you can tell things are going really good. You know, that wheel cylinder is coming right out of there. No problem. I haven't had to go to any extreme measures. Got it. Yeah, those were not coming out the easy way. Maybe all my manipulation here has got that brake line to cooperate. Key word here is try to just thread the wheel cylinder onto the rusted solid brake line. Then hope that it winds up oriented correctly. I think it's acceptable. It's all together. And I just let it gravity bleed while I was putting the brake together. It seems okay. Anyway, I'm going to slap this back together. Proceed to ignore. Inner nut on. I know we don't want it too tight. Oh, probably somewhere in there. Thread that on there. And this one we're going to want to try to bite down on there as hard as we reasonably can, because this is just to lock in that inner nut. What is 5-pound sledge times chisel divided by meat? Axle shaft, come here. In you go. Wiggle it around until we find the splines. Like that. Got my rear view mirror installed, so I mean that's a plus. Put my new wiper blades on, you know, hardcore mechanic stuff going on here. Let's try to get these shocks off. I guess the only thing to do is just dive right in and give her the old college try here. That's good. If we can make this a 10-minute job like it's supposed to be instead of an hour-long job like it was on that step side, that would be great. It goes easy as your brother up top. Hell yeah. Yeah, this truck's rusty, but after working on something infinitely rustier, it ain't so bad. Yeah, that was pretty well headed. We'll throw some new ones on here. You know, before I throw the shock on, it's not going to get the full patina juice treatment, but I think we can wipe off this frame and shoot it with some undercoating. Now that we've expertly applied that, throw our new shocks on. Put this little cup washer on. Good thing I just sprayed that with undercoating. I'm really smart sometimes. I don't know if you guys noticed. Be grateful, truck. Just go ahead and I'll knock out the other side real quick. And then we'll move on to the fronts. You know what? I wasn't going to do it, but I'm going to do it. We're going to put new springs in it. Probably new brake drums too. I'm going all out, guys. That's it. The budget's out the window. We're just going to rebuild the whole truck. Total overhaul. Complete rebuild. Okay, well, that was painless. This went just as easy as the other one, and we're all brand new, completely brand new rear suspension now. Before I move to the front, let's pull the plug on that and see how much gear lube we need. She just takes a 3/8 square, so you can just stick any old ratchet in there and pray that it comes out. Yeah, it's stripped. Got it. I had stripped it a little bit, then she decided to come on out. Watch it be full. It is full. It's fine. Okay. It doesn't need anything. Yes, the front's probably fine, but let me crawl under here, pull the plug on this old Dana 44, just to be safe. Does any magical goo come out? No, bone dry. Okay, let's add some. Just get some goo in here. I got any chemical engineers in here? Why does gear lube smell like this? Like when no other oil does? Why couldn't we make it smell like roses or something, you know? Fresh linen, how about that? Wild cherry. That's an idea there, and I won't hold you to it. Scented gear lubes. For the discerning mechanic. I need a better way to do this. Oh, wow. Look at the ooze that's coming out of this thing. You don't want to see that. The more fresh I pump into here, it should push that ooze out. There we go. Now it's starting to look cleaner. I'm well practiced at this. You know, just got done doing all of this. I don't know when I became the Square Body channel. You know, I went from being the shot up car guy channel to now I do square bodies. Apparently. I don't know. It's like a disease. And nothing coming out of there, so let's top her off with our 30 weight non-detergent motor oil. That to top off our transfer case. Good thing I bought a ton of that for the step side. I'm gonna have to clean my floor again. I cleaned it before we pulled the truck in here. Quit splooging. Well, let's see if this works. Probably not. It's working, I think. Pretty cold. This stuff's thick. Anytime you're ready to just fill up, that would be great. Is it even going down the funnel? What the hell? Oh my god, what a disaster. Just go in, for fuck's sake. Wasted 90% of this. It's going real good. Okay, I've discovered the ideal way to do this. So that funnel's junk. However, its spout threads right on to a quart of oil. Who would have ever imagined that, huh? This is by far the greatest thing I've discovered tonight. Holy cow. Sometime today, you thirsty son of a gun. Oh, shit. Whoever gave me the tip about using a mortar trowel as a drain pan. Thank you, like, so much. This thing kicks ass as a drain pan. That's so smart. Is that nasty stuff coming out? Yes. Okay, so it's full. Good, good, good. One last thing I'd like to do tonight is install some of this alleged zinc in the oil. Yes. Look at the goo. Goo. Drink up your magical goo. Goo installed. It's a new day. And what I'd like to knock out today is just patch up this hole in the floor here. I'm not really gonna do anything about it except for just screw some metal over the top. Yeah, it's pretty crusty. It's because of this damn sound deadener. You know, we're gonna prep the surface exceptionally well. Alright, yeah, so that's done. What do we got? 28 inches or so? Let's go 26. That sounds good. That's how precise I get. 26 by, 14. Uh-huh. And, something like that, yeah. Okay, maybe this metal's too... Oh, it broke my nibbler. No! Okay, plan B. Death wheel. Hopefully I don't cut right through the wall. There we go. This is some good stuff. It's tough. Probably too tough, actually. Hopefully I can beat it into shape. Thankfully it's pretty flat in there. Let's just weasel this in here, put it underneath all this wiring. There. Try to give it a little bit of a dip. I really should have picked a flimsier piece of metal. So I need to make a cut and notch it around the kick panel. Give me 1 minute. And let me see if I can get this to fit a little better. I'm just going to have to put this in 2 pieces. So I've been shaping this by sticking it in the cab and bending it. I've got the kick panel here. The lower part of it that's missing. Again, not going for perfection here. Yes, I have an LMC partnership. No, I'm not going to use it for every single thing I own because that's not the way I am. And so that front part looks pretty decent in there, I think. Not too bad a shape. Yes, I do know what I'm doing sometimes. Yes, I'm capable of doing better work. No, I'm not going to. For this back piece here, this part, this is supposed to be lower than that by about 1 inch. And I'm probably just going to screw a piece of metal flat over it. I'll probably use this super tinny galvanized strap out of the silver dollar Chevy. I'm just going to go ahead and shoot a self-tapper in it. Or try to, I guess. Because this metal's awfully thick. I don't know if it's self-tapperable. Self-tapper, 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 self-tapper. Yeah! This will tell you just how good this metal is. See, I got some tin snips here. And it just cuts like butter. That's usually a pretty good indication. You've got some primo grade metal here, guys. I'm just gonna go ahead and shoot 4,000 self-tappers into this. Beautiful. Look at that. Magnifico. You know what? It's better than a hole in the floor, and it's just an old beater truck. I mean, come on. Look at the rest of this thing. It'll be just fine. And we still got some gaps and stuff in it, you know, so like that. So we'll take some metal tape and just, you know, fix that. Yeah, there we go. What hole? Anyway, let's clean this out. What I'm going to do is just bed line the floors, because I don't want to spring for a rubber mat or anything. Before I go completely fixing the floors again, I want to go ahead and install the weather strip. I want it to be right. You know, we don't half-ass anything around here, so I'll just shoot a self-tapper in. Much improved, much better. I want to keep these floor mats, I think. Dime, penny, quarter. It's the $quarter Chevy. No, not really. Some gloves, murder weapon. Put this away for safekeeping. Yeah, the cops might come looking for that. A dragon. We'll use the giant toothbrush to sweep it out. Wow, this doesn't come out of there very good. Must really not like being cold. Well, anyway, I guess I'll be here for a while, but this is how I'm going to do it. Yeah. From Harbor Freight, so you know it's good. Those are definitely floors. Hopefully that rubberized bed liner will kind of insulate a little bit, you know, without me having to do anything. We'll throw our floor mats back in there, call it a day. Hopefully these are all just self-tappers. Oh, that was hard. Still got a couple of brackets on. Well, we'll probably delete those with the Sawzall. Much better. I'll just shove this rest of that bracket up behind there where you can't see it. I think these are kind of heavy. Might pick up a 1/10 and the quarters with those things. Oh. God, that looks better already. Whoa. There's that. How to do this without sawing through the gas tank. There. Looking good now. Well, it's a good thing I jacked this up. That's bad. No tells. Steering, no move. That's the hub. Is about to fall off of this truck. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to look into that. This side got a little bit of play, but it's not bad. Well, let's see what kind of mess we've got into now. Yeah, that's what you call bad. First step when you work on anything is take the brake caliper off. Probably should have looked at this before we drove 200 miles home on it, but apparently it didn't matter that much. That's bad, man. Pop this outside cap off. Alright, there's that. The snap ring here, a whole bunch of nonsense. The hub looks like it's in okay shape. So it's probably just bearings. Bearings I can buy, and so I got an exhaust appointment. 3 days to go take this thing up and get some mufflers put on it. And I gotta, now that I know this is here, I'm not gonna go drive it on the highway, so I need to fix this. No, I don't actually own a pair of snap ring pliers. I filed these needle nose down many a year ago for something. I don't really remember what, but still do the job, so pull this out, and that's your auto hub there. It just locks into these teeth. They're pretty durable. They get a bad rap. You got a special nut back here. It's real similar to the nut that retains the bearing on the back, except for this one just has 4 slots in it. Do have the correct socket for it. Had this thing around forever. It's just got 4 pins on the outside of it that grab onto this. It was tight. The nut right there. Spacer thing that goes in between the 2 nuts. You should just be able to unwind this inner one. There we go. Alright. There we go. That looks like part of the bearing. I'm not really sure. Oh, come on. Yeah, it's seized. Got it. That is a newer bearing. It's not that bad. The inner one's not that bad either. Maybe I ought to throw some bearings at it just in case. They still move. I think they were just adjusted incorrectly. Can't touch my can. What did they use? They must have packed them with molly, I guess. Tie rod's completely wasted. I don't really care about that. It's worn, but it's not that bad. Went up to the parts store, bought the cheapest bearings I could buy, so they'll work great on this. Clean things up as best we can while we're here. We'll be packing some wheel bearings. You know, they say God looks after fools and drunks, and well, I'm not a drunk. I don't really drink. I am dumb. So that may hold true. Slam this baby back together. I didn't buy a pair of snap ring pliers, even though I needed them. I forgot until just now. Dang it! Well, we're ready to slam her back together here. I got both the bearings sitting in there. Now, one real thing you gotta note here that I just remembered. The inner nut has a little ding-dong sticking off the end of it there. that's what sits inside of this washer to retain it. So you gotta make sure that ding dong is facing outwards, you know. These are technical terms I'm using, so don't get lost in the jargon. I wind them down tight. It barely moves, right? Then I'll back it off until it spins free. Just give it, we just want that, that's probably a little bit tight actually. Make sure you don't got any in and out play. That's fixed. Our little lock washer back in, it's keyed to only go on one direction. That little ding dong's supposed to line up with one of the holes in this thing. We want to get that pretty damn tight so it doesn't try to back off again. Excellent. We've done a good thing today. Put your hub gear back in. Get her started on the axle shaft there. Put a little pressure on it. And then just roll the rotor until it comes around. Now I got it. There we go. That's how that's supposed to work. Wow, that diff is wasted. But we don't need that one. We can deal without that. Alright, got our new shock on here as well. Why don't we go ahead and treat her to a brand new frame while we're in here. There we go. Brand spanking new. Well, I figure I probably ought to look into this side too, since we found out the other side is real bad. But I don't know. I mean, the spray bomb rebuild, you know, it seems to be working, but maybe we ought to look anyway. Well, while I do this front bearing over here, JD's gonna dye the door panels. So he's gonna mask off all the trim, and we found this dye here that I had around. It's pretty close, so I don't know. Might as well dress it up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Try to mask that off as best you can. Or you
I
can
could
do the
just use cardboard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, JD painting on that got me in the mood to do some more detailing. So I got this copper paint for 75% off on closeout at my local hardware store, so that's why I'm using it. I'd rather have gold, but I don't have gold, so copper it is. I think it looks pretty cool. Well, JD had to split, so I'm going to finish up at least this door panel for him. He got all this masked. We'll just use the good old cardboard to try to minimize our collateral damage here. A little bit better is better than it was, right? So sometimes that's just the way it goes, guys. You know, not everything needs to be like, oh, that's properly restored. Sometimes you just make it a little bit better than it was. And then maybe later on you make it a little bit better than that. Maybe a little later on you make it a little bit better than that. And before you know it, you've got way too much money in something that's not worth it. This SEM color code stuff is good stuff. It'll stick to just about anything. I know I'm supposed to be doing that bearing, but I just keep getting distracted by things I'd rather do. Alright, well I got this side disassembled. Not near as bad as the other side. Now the outer bearing is fine, but this inner bearing has seen better days. It's all chewed up around the back edge of it. And I can tell that some of the rollers are actually flat from being stuck. So it's a good thing we're in here, regardless. Well, we are reassembled here. It's nice and tight. Wasn't too bad before, so no biggie there. It's very hard to judge, like once it's actually reassembled, how smooth it is, but you can set them without the hub installed. It rolled real nice, and it rolls real nice right now too. Try to throw some grease into these tie rods that badly need replaced, and hopefully I don't die. The drag link is nice and solid, actually. Well, I don't know. It's not near as bad as that other one, so I feel okay about this one. I got a new steering stabilizer coming. Should be here tomorrow. And mufflers on Wednesday. This was some of our tie rod and a grease gun. Guaranteed to do virtually nothing. I was greasing the slip yokes, which is something you ought to do on these trucks. You can grease this little slip yoke here. It kind of keeps the slop out of the drive shafts. You know, there's one on the front and the rear, and I got the rear done. But the front, the zert is broke off in the hole. Not only does that mean we can't grease it, that means she's wide open for crap to get in there, right? So what I'm going to try to do is hammer the extractor into there. We know how well these things work, right? Try to extract that so we can put a new zert in there. That went surprisingly well. It actually came right out of there. Lucky break there, that's for sure. I just realized why that zert was broke off. That's because it was hitting the header. But it looks like it already self-clearanced itself for the header. At least we can theoretically put some grease in the thing. Just about out of time for tonight. We can show off our new grill emblem, right? You know, not paying 60 bucks for one, I'll tell you that. So, look at that. Boom. That's a lot better. You see that door panel over there? It's turned out real nice too. Pretty good compared to what it used to look like. I'll probably try to knock this one out real quick, and I'll be calling it a night, going to bed, getting up for work tomorrow, because that's what I do, just a regular dude. Other door panel's done, so our interior's looking mighty snazzy now. I got JD here again. I'm probably going to make him clean the windows, because he can't hardly see out of the things. And I am going to throw on a new steering stabilizer, like you just saw me do on the step side. So nothing new there, except for I got a little heavier duty unit. I didn't like the feel of that Gabriel on the step side, so went with the AC Delco. It's a little bit bigger around, probably a little more suited to the 3/4 ton truck. Literally might drown while I'm down here. You know, the water's rising, mama. And you piece of crap. Hell. Come on. I got it knocked out, except for now I've mushroomed out the end of it. It doesn't want to come out of that tie rod. Ah, there it is. Just a little punch. How wore out? Oh, completely wasted. This thing better drive like a brand new truck. Get all this started in here, leave everything loose until we're ready to install it, because, you know, I just don't trust them. That's allegedly where that's supposed to go. I had that on backwards, so, you know. Armchair quarterbacks, go ahead and, you don't gotta comment about it. Actually, go ahead and comment about it. Tell me how stupid I am. Anyway, that's how it's supposed to go on there. I will say it went on incorrectly, remarkably well. Alright, we're back on the ground. I think she sits up a little prouder with the new shocks. He's trying valiantly to clean these windows, but it's kind of a futile effort.
Yeah, it has dirt on it each time I wipe it down.
It's like soot. I think the inside's clean. Desperate times call for steel wool. Heavy smoker, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, look at that. It comes right off with steel wool. Yeah, I can see. It's so much better. Now for some body work. JD's going to go ahead and straighten out that rear bumper. We'll teach him how to do body work the right way. Here. There you go, something like that. Yep, keep her going. Okay. Yeah, so you're a little off-centered there, you know.
Yeah, good for the
You know, keep going. You want to go a little bit further than you need to go. Oh. And then we could just jump on it or something. There it goes. Yeah, look at that. Go a little further. Okay, now let off. There it is.
Yeah,
perfect.
It's perfect.
Brand new. Alright, I've got this tail light lens removed, and I got some brand new ones I had left over. We could go ahead and pop those in just for fun. I gotta figure out where to reattach this to. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this all the way just to get it out of our way. Well, I'm noticing this doesn't go in as far as it should. I'll just get my bodywork channel locks out and I can see a hole here where they had a screw shot in it, and there's a hole here. And if I could just get those two to line back up, we'd at least kind of know where it's supposed to be. A little bit of progress. A little bit. Not much. Yeah. Like that. I like it. I like where we're at so far. This thing we do want to make sure still allows us to put a tail light in the truck. I like that a lot better. Still not sure how to attach it though. Let's see. Yeah. This is pro stuff here. I don't expect you to get it all at once, okay? Just try to follow along. Go ahead and install the taillight housing utilizing self-tapper technology. It's highly advanced, and I don't recommend it for beginners. There's just enough left of this inner wheelhouse to grab with the self-tapper or 7. Well, okay, there's not enough left for that hole. A little bit better, not much. And by not much, I mean really not at all. I'm gonna take a starter shim and just make a little bridge. Yeah, we'll cut off the parts that obviously resemble a starter shim. That way we can hide it whenever we go to Barrett-Jackson. There's already a hole drilled in this piece of angle iron someone's stuck in here. Someone has been here butchering before me. Now, you might ask yourself, Dalton, are you actually going to rely on half of a starter shim to hold the whole side of the truck on? And yeah, obviously, you know what channel you're watching? Beautiful. Rock solid, sturdy as can be now. Now we'll go ahead and hide it professionally. There we go. Where is it? Can't even see it. Got my brand new lenses here. I already installed the trim on that one. I got the trim because I'm kind of a high-class guy. The way these really high-quality lenses come, you just kind of bend these tabs. You want it to fit sort of snuggish. Theoretically, they'll stay on. But we're actually not too far off. I mean, yeah, there's a little gap around it, but it's not that bad. So we'll install it with self-tappers. Not only a taillight lens, it's holding the truck together. New lenses are in and looking sharp, I might say. Because I had these little hook things laying around. I figured they might be handy for tying down loads of scrap and stuff. There's not a better bed to randomly attach things to than this one, so I have these industrial strength self-tappers that Lightning Shifter Studios sent me, and they're going to hold it for sure, and when they don't, at least we'll have pilot holes drilled. Those things freaking bit, man. I was kind of doing that as a gag, but they might actually work. Marvelous. Yes. Yeah. Cap things off. I've got a brand new used gas cap that I just spray painted silver for it. Look at that. I just wiped all the silver paint off of it. I didn't let it dry. That's fine. I'm about to go get gas, so whatever. Still looks better than this one, though. Huh?
Good morning. Guess you're going to work with me today. Let's see if it'll start. It's about 30 degrees out this morning. Wow. I think that choke fixed itself. Yeah, not quite. Still a little cold-blooded.
Made it to work anyway. Pretty good. Heat worked good. Everything seems kosher. Let's go get some mufflers after work.
Just got out of work. Headed to Grandview, Missouri to Rose's Muffler, my preferred exhaust shop.
He said he wanted just straight pipe.
No, quiet. That's why we got these big old mufflers right here. Besides, hey, this is great. Rose's Muffler, Grandview, Missouri. You know, if you need exhaust or anything, I'm gonna keep them in frame. You know, you come here.
This thing is dead quiet now. I mean, it makes no sound at all. It's exactly what I wanted.
Well, we're back home, and the truck's over there. Did great, but it needs new tires in the worst way. They should be here today at some point, but I'm not going to put them on the wheels on that truck. I'm going to put them on the wheels that are on this big blue van, and that's because these wheels have dimples for hubcaps. They'll actually take a standard dog dish hubcap instead of the full wheel cover. Those are off of an OBS Chevy, and they're hideous. However, that means I got to pull this big old sucker in somewhere and pull the wheels off of it. So when my new tires get here, if they don't hurry up, I'm going to have to mount them myself. And I don't know if I can even pull that off. See if it'll even start.
Aha, 454. Hope this thing fits. I have no idea.
I got all the tires off. Tire shop's closed. It's too late now. My new tires are, of course, late. It's snowing tomorrow, and I really, there's no real deadline here, except for I hate driving Old Blue in the salt. It just pains me every time I do it. I don't necessarily mind driving that one in the salt. I don't trust those rear tires any more than we pushed it today, right? But I got them all dismounted thanks to my old Coates tire machine here. New tires showed up. Mild trip. Definitely going white lip route, of course. Got one done. I know I should have painted the wheels first, but I need the truck. So we might bolt them on there and then paint them. Then they could dry overnight. I'm going to keep going. I'm not very good at this, so bear with me. Okay, 3 down, One to go. It's taking a little while. Right, out with the old and with the new, kind of. And let's toss that on there. Love it. This truck's getting spoiled, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Looks pretty good. But, I thought I had some white paint left over from JD's car, and I guess I don't. I have a little bit, but not enough to do all 4 of these wheels. I'm going to try to paint this now, and hopefully it'll be dry come morning. I guess I'll let it tack up. Tack up and then hit it with this really good Color Place spray paint from Walmart. There we go.
On how to bypass use the jumper wire somewhere to bypass the thing.
Looking pretty good. Amber's here. Remember her from the Gambler event? Probably not. Nobody watched that video.
Nobody wants to go to the Gambler. It's stupid.
Yeah. She's here. They're going down to Oklahoma in this Swedish thing. It seems to be doing all right. I don't know. She made it here in like an hour. It's a Volvo. It's got skulls on it, so that's cool. Anyway, I think it's beer and tacos time. And that's going to do it for this episode of Pole Barn Garage. I think the old truck is doing quite a bit better. If I make it to work tomorrow and survive, well then, you know, you'll probably see this video. And if you don't see this video, just assume that I'm dead.